Welcome to a brand new edition here of the Los Alamitos Weekend Preview Show. I'm your host, Jose Contreras, alongside the voice of Los Alamitos, Michael Reno. Michael, how you doing on this Thursday afternoon?
Terrific. How are you, Jose?
Good, good. I see that you are doing some live reporting from us, remote work for you. Where are you hanging out this weekend?
I'm in Las Vegas this week.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we're recording just a little earlier than usual on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
I appreciate that because in about an hour from now, I'll be clinking a glass with Darren Flindell, who is the Sydney race caller. You would hear him every Friday night if you listen to Rose Hill or Randwick. He is a top-class race caller. He worked in Hong Kong for many years before returning to his native Sydney to take up the role as the number one race caller in Sydney. He's been in that position about 7 years now, I think. He called the majority of Winx's races, the $20 million Everest a few weeks ago. So we've never actually met, and I'm looking forward to the chance to make his acquaintance. Darren is in Las Vegas for a friend's 50th birthday party this weekend.
Any excuse to get to Vegas is a good excuse. I'm happy you get to meet one of your fellow colleagues, fellow race callers from down under. So that should be a fun night out in the town. I did see with my spying eyes on social media that Dinnerman was posting from Las Vegas. Is there any chance you might run into Matt Dinnerman out there?
Yes. As coincidence would have it, Matt Dinnerman's in town as well. And we caught up on Monday night, posted a picture of us on Twitter up on the 64th floor of the Delano, the Skyfall Bar and Lounge. And he's going to chime in this afternoon as well. He's a fan of Darren Flindell's. Matt said he'd love to meet him. So it'll be well, they say Las Vegas is one of the world's great convention cities. This will be like a race callers convention.
Yes, I'll call it the unofficial race callers convention here on this weekend in November. So good to have you here on the desk. And how did it go as far as racing last week? What did you think about some of those big performances there in the Super Derby?
Oh, well, I'm a big Jericho fan. And, I liked him in the Super Derby. I didn't necessarily like him halfway through the race, but he just can produce a paralyzing burst, and he split the field, and he was so strong through the wire, and he's just crying out for 440. He only gets warmed up at the end of 400, and from that standpoint, he won't be out of place as the 3-year-old in this season's Champion of Champions, although he does have a more seasoned and accomplished stablemate by the name of Impressum, among other luminaries to battle with. So it's a tall order, but he's going to be very good heading into his 4-year-old season next year as well. I'm just an unabashed fan of Jericho, and I was very happy to see him with the winner's circle appearance on Sunday night.
Yeah, it was great to have you there during our segment on FanDuel TV, and you highlighted his 2 million futurity runner-up finish from last year when he was a 2-year-old. He had no business finishing second in that tremendous race behind, what was it, Cyber Attack. Yeah, Cyber Attack ended up winning that edition. He had no business making all that ground and getting to the exacta. As a 3-year-old, he stepped it above, but you could tell he wants the extra 40 yards, so he should love going 440.
Yeah, the Champion of Champions is going to be another wonderful race next month.
It should be. All right, let's talk about this Saturday night. Speaking about Champion of Champions, we do have the C. Wayne Griffin Director Trials on Sunday. They would hold the last open spots into the Champion of Champions. But let's talk about it Saturday night. Saturday night, we got 10 races. You're going to take us to the very first race of the night, which happens to be the $50,000 sponsored allowance event by the National Thoroughbred League. We got a very good field of 10 here lining up.
Yes, the National Thoroughbred League was launched earlier this year. It's a new concept based on team racing. And the first race was at Kentucky Downs a few months ago, and they're coming to Los Alamitos. And this $50,000 race to start Saturday night's program is sponsored by the National Thoroughbred League. There'll be a country music concert by Tyler Rich happening before the races. They've got a huge group booked for vessels, so it'll be quite an exciting night to welcome them to Los Al, and it'll be a bit of a test, I imagine, for yours truly, because instead of the regular owners' silks I'm used to, all of these horses in race one will be sporting the team silks, and each team has a couple of horses in the race. So my selection for this preview show belongs to the New York Knights. I'm going to the outside at 6-1 on Ed Burgart's morning line. Proud Veteran, number 10.
Now, Proud Veteran has been duking it out with lots of these runners before. He's kind of one of those runners that we usually see when we see these stakes finals or these points finals or these high-level allowances. He draws the outside post. Is that one of your angles here that you like him because he drew the outside?
It is, and there's so much speed signed up. This is going to be a high-pressure race. You've got inside speed with Project Leader and Whiskey My God. And in this replay we're about to show you from June, a matter of fact, Project Leader is in the same race. They're drawn next to each other. Proud Veteran's in gate 4, and Project Leader has the red cap, number 5. And you can see that Project Leader, as usual, is right up on the speed. Proud Veteran's dropping back to 4th in the blue silks with the white sleeves and white shadow roll. And I'm hoping that he can fashion a similar trip. He'll be coming from off the pace on the outside, and let's watch him pick up some pretty smart horses in the second half of this race from June.
He looked very sharp in this one. He set a good trip. He never fell too far off the pace, but he looked very nicely without having to steady or lose momentum at all. Sometimes, losing ground is not that big of a deal, as long as you don't get stopped. And this night, he didn't get stopped, and he kicked on very nicely.
Yeah, he's got form all around the top 1,000-yard horses of the past 12 months at Los Alamitos, including Sigaros and See Through It, Winding, who is drawn right next to him in the race on Saturday night, and another one being Dutton, who had the track record here. Tis Lightning. I mean, there's just a lot of good horses in his form lines, and I'm hoping that from the outside post with Edgar Payeras jumping aboard, that the race shape is going to suit him. I think at 6-1, it's worth taking a shot, because apart from the inside speed of Project Leader and Whiskey My God, you've got a couple of horses coming in fresh off layoffs. Number 5, Head for Business, and number 7, Cat Bernay. They're very pacey customers as well. I'm sure they'll be firing fresh. So if it's a mad scramble for the lead, Proud Veteran might find himself in a nice spot to pounce.
And don't we feel that with the main speed runner, Project Leader, drawing the inside post, then it's probably going to sped up like a fast pace, because he's got to hustle. He's got to go from that inside post.
Yeah. Oh, I'm banking on a pace meltdown. I'm looking at the likes of Proud Veteran to pick up some pieces. So, again, I just think he's a fair price. 6-1 appeals from the nice outside draw.
All right, that's going to be the 1,000-yard allowance, $50,000 in the purse, sponsored by the National Thoroughbred League. And Michael likes the look of Proud Veteran on the outside. Now, I am wearing a Los Alamitos gift shop jacket. I actually got customized with my logo here, Los Ponies, so you can see right here. But I see that you're wearing your racing shirt from the gift shop as well.
Yeah, indeed. Flying the Los Al flag in Las Vegas. And I know that you did some business in the gift shop just last weekend. There was quite a good sale there.
It was. I scored this nice, it's almost like a suede. And it's a very warm jacket. I thought it went, I like the color, I like the material, and it's a nice heavy weight to it. So I scored me this jacket this past weekend at the Los Alamitos Equine. So I like the monochromatic look of the logo on the back. So come on out and visit Los Al for the gift shop. They got tremendous items there, brand new merchandise. Come out and give them a visit. They do open on racing nights, and they will stay open for maybe about half an hour past the last race or so. So if you can get some of your merchandise on the way out. I saw Angie Aquino, Ashley Garcia, the owner, Henry Lopez, Barrington Harvey was in there. So you might run into some trainers and jockeys there on any given night.
Yeah, that's a really nice jacket that you picked up. When you wore it into Burgart's after the races on Sunday, Kathy and I asked if we could touch you.
Yes. It was like, can I touch you? Can I touch you? Yes. It is a nice, soft, like almost suede type of material. It is a very comfortable jacket. I had to have it as a matter of fact, I tried it on. I didn't take it off. After that, it just stayed on. I never put it back on the rack. So, it's a gift shop there. Come out and visit Los Alamitos gift shop. They do a good job out there, and they got some very cool stuff for all ages. They got toys for the kiddos. They got outfits for men and women, hats, belts, anything you can think of. You can probably find it at the Los Alamitos gift shop.
For sure. One closing note, Jose.
Yes.
We'll have a guest announcer on Saturday night. Jonathan Horowitz is visiting Los Alamitos. Los Al followers would be well familiar with Jonathan. In fact, as a teenager, he called a race on the public address system. That's a couple of decades ago now, on a youth-themed race night. But more recently, he filled in for me during, I think, my first vacation in the role at Los Al 2 or 3 years ago. And he's going to be in town for his mother's birthday. He grew up in Orange County. They're coming out to the races. So I've extended the invitation, and Jonathan is keen to come up and call a race. So I'll be able to rest the voice for one of the 10 races on Saturday.
That's good. Good to have Jonathan on site, and it'll be good to hear his voice there at Los Alamitos once again. All right, Michael, best of luck with Pat Veteran. Enjoy the unofficial Race Colors Summit in Las Vegas this week, and we'll see you back here on Saturday.
Yeah, I might suggest to Darren that we take any photos sooner rather than later, because there'll be a few going down the hatch, I can tell you.
For sure. All right, Michael, have a good rest of your week out there, and we'll see you this weekend at Los Al.
Good on you, mate. Hooroo.
Team Horse Racing. Live performances. Culinary masterpieces. Join the National Thoroughbred League for its inaugural season. Experience horse racing like never before. With music, food, and fashion. This is one event you don't want to miss. Come experience the NTL. November 11th at Los Alamitos Racetrack.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.
Welcome back. We are now here back with your Los Alamitos analyst, Christopher Wade. Christopher, welcome back to the show here. First of all, I know you liked Jericho in last week's Super Derby. How impressive was he closing ground in the last final eighth?
It was a massive final half of the affair. This horse back bobbled and was brushed inward away from the gate. He lost over a length away from the gate, and the rail runner looked to be long gone, broke on the lead and was extending. But this horse leveled out strongly late and just put forth the final half of the affair that was just so impressive. Very, very, very impressive. One more time.
Yeah, he was. He was very good, deserving winner. He had to make up a lot of ground like he usually does. He's not the quickest out of the gate, but he can finish very, very strongly. And he flashed again that tremendous late kick to take the Super Derby purse of over $900,000. Not only did he earn that Grade 1 victory on his resume, but he also punched his ticket into the champions coming up in December. He should love going to 440 yards based on that late kick that he has.
Yeah, he's been crying for that distance for quite some time. He's going to get it in Champion of Champions. It's going to be an incredible race, as per usual this year.
For sure. All right, let's talk about your selection. Mike Corona gave us a selection in the opening race. You're going to take us to the nightcap. Race number 10, 300-yard allowance here for the quota horses, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. We got a morning line favorite along the road, One Sweet Bar, who's coming out of the PCQHRA British Derby. I think he might be a vulnerable favorite, but I know you like the looks of the 2-horse here, Corin, where you're getting a pretty nice, healthy 4-1 morning line.
Yeah, I'm going to give this horse a big look. Comes out of a very strong race in that trial there for the Derby. And this horse ran pretty well. He had a B+ workout prior to that return effort to Los Al. Got a little fractious, bobbled and skied away from the gate, lost about 3/4. Decent speed and finished steadily. Will outrun versus a well-met winner that night. He's Chickless, and this horse, they always seemingly improve. Second time back over the Los Alamitos Oval after spending some time in Rio Dos this last racing season.
Let's take a look at that replay here. Most recently at Los Alamitos, October 15th. And again, this was a trial that He's Chickless won, and He's Chickless was the only qualifier out of this final into the Super Derby. Now, we know He's Chickless, his main weapon is his gate speed, right? So he used it once again here from gate 6 to win from pretty much from gate to finish. But talk about your horse here, Corin, who had the inside post.
And it's like I said, this horse had a pretty good drill prior to the return. Got a little fraction. You can see him moving his head around right there inside the gate. Gets his head straight, moving around again. And broke okay, kind of bobbled just a little bit, showed some good speed away from there and kind of drifted in. But still, he's out there near the lead. And ran a pretty good race. First time over the track, coming after shipping in from back from Rio Dos Downs. But if everything factored in, Chickless just kept on going. This horse was finishing steadily, and he's got run enough to give to the final half of the affair. He galloped out pretty well. It was a pretty good effort. You can see him heading in that turn right there on the lead. So this horse will definitely move forward here. And let's look at the outcome there in that 10th and final on National Thoroughbred League night.
Yes, and you know what I like about that effort also is that he remained fairly straight from the inside post, which a lot of horses don't do. They want to lug in, they want to drift in at the gap. He didn't do that, which I think could be a big positive for him based on what he did that night.
Yeah. A lot of horses like to ski in, drift in towards that rail, but this horse was straight as a string and ran pretty well, and he galloped out nicely. And then, like I said, they always seemingly improved. Second time over the Los Alamitos Oval. He's been here before. He's ran well over the surface. So my numbers, everything factored in, trouble and track variant. This horse has a big look at the outcome there at 4-1 there in the 10th and final on Saturday night.
I joke with Michael there off there that this I could call this the Los Ponis Invitational, Chris, because two of my old friends are in here. Just Another Cartel de Poseidon. These are two horses that I pretty much chased every single time. They're back in it. They're both, contenders that have good amount of numbers that fit well here, but they're drawing gates 5 and 7. I'm going to have to back these two once again. Just Another Cartel de Poseidon. I can't let them go.
No, they got numbers. They're very, very competitive this affair, and the horses that we've looked at before. I've used Just Another Cartel on multiple occasions. Of course, it's a good amount of ability, but the last couple of efforts have been a little bit troubled. A couple races back, the horse actually sat down on the gate, had to be scratched, and the last time he got fractious, actually broke through the gate. So if he can mind his manners inside the barrier, he's going to be a factor as per usual.
It's going to be a nice way to end the card here. 10 races is going to be a nice allowance, going a distance of 300 yards. Should be a good night, good way to wrap up the Tame Race program on Saturday. That will begin with the $50,000 allowance sponsored by the National Thoroughbred League. Not only that, Chris, the Pick Six had a tremendous support last week, ending with Jericho. That Pick Six crossed well into the 6 figures after just a $13,000 carryover.
Yeah, like $13,800 plus, and the handle was monstrous as per usual. With any kind of a pool and or a no carryover Sundays, it's just a great program. Everybody loves a $2 Pick Sixes. You get a price along the way, you can get paid.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. All right, Chris, best of luck with that selection. Tell the players what else are you handicapping for the simulcasting.
Well, this week we're handicapping Evangeline Down, which starts a little earlier than usual on the simulcast. We're handicapping races 4 through 8, and then races 3 through 11 at Lone Star Park for to help you along. You can find our selections there on the Los Alamitos website, and of course in the program there, Nightline program.
All right, sounds good. All right, Chris, best of luck with that selection, and we'll see you this weekend at Los Alamitos.
All right, boss, get her done.
Yeah, sounds good.
Team horse racing, live performances, culinary masterpieces. Join the National Thoroughbred League for its inaugural season. Experience horse racing like never before, with music, food, and fashion. This is one event you don't want to miss. Come experience the NTL, November 11th at Los Alamitos Racetrack.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.
Welcome back. Let's talk about a horse that I'm going to key on for the late pick 4 and the pick 6 sequence as well here this upcoming Saturday night. Now it did end up being one of the favorites here in race number 7, but also talk about a favorite that I don't like in the sequence. So I'll give you a favorite that I think will be tough to beat, and I'll give you a favorite that I'm playing against. So first up, Corona Rose will be the runner in race number 7 that I'm going to key my entire late pick 4 sequence and the pick 6 sequence as well on. I do like her in the spot. She draws the inside post. She's had good experience on the inside post before, so I think she'll be able to handle it with no problem. Let's take a look at that replay there most recently for Corona Rose back on October 14th. And she had the inside post this night as well. She is gonna bump at the start here. She gets bumped here she bumps with the 2 horse here in this spot. And watch how she bobbles forward, gets bumped sideways. But I love this acceleration midway. She ends up getting into contention for the lead, has the lead, but is just not able to hold off the big favorite there, Political Royalty, who ends up winning as, I believe, the 1-5 favorite here. Yes, 1-5 favorite there, the number 4 horse, Political Royalty. But I liked the game effort there by Corona Rose. You can see she stumbled forward while getting bumped with the 2 horse. But she kept on willingly. She showed a good burst of acceleration here midway past the gap and ended up making the lead, but just did not have the late kick to hold off the big 1-5 favorite, Political Royalty, who came back to win out of this allowance event. So no shame in finishing second. She was 7-1 in that spot. She was just second best in that race. So I like her right back. I'm going to make her my lock of the night, my best bet on Saturday night. She'll be in post number 1 for Henry Lopez and Elena Andrade. And I'm hopeful that she can show us that same gate speed and hopefully avoid any kind of bumping at the start. Now, I do think the 6 is going to take some money. So I don't think the Corona Rose will be super short odds. I do think she's going to be the off-odds favorite no matter what happens. But I think Miss Racy Perry will take some money. She's coming out of the fastest trial for the Super Derby for Apocalypse V, and she's dropping in class and she's getting the outside post. She has a 1-2 starts to go with Mendez. So a lot of things to like about Miss Racy Perry. So she is going to take money, I think, but I like Corona Rose even better because I think she got a better speed. She has a better number. She has a better final clockings at 300 yards. But I do think the 6 is going to take money just because of the drop in class, the outside post, and the winning connection. So I'll go all in here with Corona Rose as my lock of the night in race number 7. Now, one favorite that I am against here tonight will be in race number 10. We talked about this race with Christopher Wade. I'm against One Sweet Bar. He is a 5-2 morning night favorite. He is exiting the PC Creatory Breeders' Derby back in September, but he's not the most consistent runner coming out of the gate, and he tends to break inwards a bit. And I think that could be trouble from that inside post. He's had the inside post before. In the futurity, he ended up finishing 4th at 26-1. He came in to start back in that Derby trial, ended up finishing 6th. So he's had the inside post before. He had post 2 back in June of last season. He broke inwards. So he tends to move inwards. And at 300 yards, there's very little room for error to be able to recover and then straighten out and then come back and win. So I'm against the 1 in race number 10, One Sweet Bar. He is the 5-2 morning line favorite, and I think he's a vulnerable favorite in race number 10. So that's the favorite I'm against. I'm against the 1 in race 10, and I'm all for the favorite in race number 7, Corona Rose, as my lock of the night. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll catch up with Professor G to see what is up next this weekend, coming up at Los Alamitos.
Team horse racing. Live performances. Culinary masterpieces. Join the National Thoroughbred League for its inaugural season. Experience horse racing like never before. With music, food, and fashion. This is one event you don't want to miss. Come experience the NTL, November 11th at Los Alamitos Racetrack.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.
Welcome back. Now joined by Orlando Gutierrez, our Director of Marketing and Publicity here at Los Alamitos Racecourse. Professor G, how are you doing on this Thursday evening now?
I'm doing really well, Jose. We're going to have a great weekend of racing here at Los Alamitos. An excellent Saturday night card. And, of course, Sunday night we have a great race, the C. Wayne Griffin Director's Trial. Be a trial race, one race, 7 outstanding older horses in action. And going back to Saturday, of course, we've talked about it last week. We are going to have a concert at the races here, pre the racing program, from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., featuring country music star Tyler Rich. And if you want to get some tickets, you can still get some tickets. All you have to do is go to ntl.racing. And if you use the access code VET2023, VET in honor of Veterans Day 2023, you can get a packet of 4 tickets to the event. And again, that will be for Saturday night, this Saturday, from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. is the concert. 6 p.m., a nice 10-horse field has been entered to this race. Winding is one of the favorites in there. Proud Veteran is another one in there. Mindshare, who's won a lot of races at Los Alamitos. Good solid field, going 1,000 yards, an allowance event. And the purse, $50,000, sponsored by NTL. So again, if you want to get some free tickets for this concert, just go to ntl.racing, use the access code VET2023, and you can get 4 tickets for free to the concert.
Looking forward to that. That's going to be a great way to start the Saturday program with that $50,000 allowance sponsored by National Thoroughbred League. Let's talk about some of the quarter horse racing here coming up this weekend. Of course, we previewed the card with Mike Corona and Christopher Wade for Saturday. Actually, before we talk about the C. Wayne Trial on Sunday night, how about the Super Derby? Jericho storming home for Heath Taylor, Professor.
Well, he looked so good on trial night, Jose, just the way he performed, very professional. He came back with a heck of a race, was not with the leaders. He actually wanted to come from behind. Sicario V had a good jump there, and a couple of other horses were in front of him. But, man, after about 200 yards, he really started rolling and won it, with a little room to spare. So an impressive winner for Jericho. Congratulations to owner Bobby Cox. Jose, Bobby Cox has been in the business for a long, long time. He's bred and raced some outstanding horses over the course of his career. Jericho will be the first horse he has owned on his own in the Champion of Champions. He was part of a partnership on a horse that ran in the Champion of Champions, I'm going to say about 30 years ago, Jose. Wow. So it's been a while since Mr. Bobby Cox has had a horse in the Champion of Champions. He's got a really good sophomore going into the Champion of Champions, Jericho. He's been so close before winning the big one here at Los Alamitos. If you remember last year, he ran second in the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity. And that was one of the things that Jose Nicasio said. He's like, I had a little rock in my shoe, a little thorn on my side, because I had not won a big one with Jericho, got it done. And for Jose Nicasio, he has run second in the Super Derby a couple of times. He gets his first win in the Los Alamitos Super Derby as well. So a big performance by Jericho, and looking forward to seeing him come back and face some outstanding older horses. We know some of those names now.
Yeah.
Presto, Apolitical Pence, they're big ones. Scoops Dynasty is going to also be headed to the Champion of Champions. Tres of Eagle, winner of the Bank of America Bank of America Challenge Championship. He's qualified. Toxic Relationship, who won the Mildred Vessels. Those are some big names going into this outstanding Champion of Champions edition.
How about we try to figure out who's going to wrap up and complete that Champion of Champions field, Professor, with Sunday night's edition of C. Wayne Griffin Director Trial. We got 7 runners in this spot. We mentioned Scoops Dynasty. Now, this is a path that Monte Rosa has done successfully with his runners. Even though they already hold a berth into the Champion of Champions, he likes to race them in the C. Wayne, right? To get them fresh, to get them prepped. This case is Scoops Dynasty. He already has a berth, but he will be expected to be in the starting gate come Sunday night.
Yeah, he did the same thing with Apolitical Pence. When Apolitical Pence defended his title in the Champion of Champions, he ran him in the Z Wayne. He used to do it with Zooming for Spuds, Jose. And now he's going to do it with Scoops Dynasty. Scoops Dynasty won the Go Man Go handicap. That's how he got his berth to the Champion of Champions. And he's going to give him a little tiner there for the Champion of Champions in this race. His horses usually do well, even if they have already qualified. So keep an eye on Scoops Dynasty. But let's take a look at the field. Cattail Cove for Mr. Link Newcomb. He's won a lot of stakes races in the past. And Cattail Cove, Jose, was part of the Champion of Champions field last year, looking for a return. Hooked and Gone. I believe he ran in the Los Alamitos Championship, Invitational Championship. I believe he was in that field. We talked about Bobby Cox. It's been a long time since he's had a horse in the Champion of Champions. He might have 2 this year, Jose.
Yes.
He also owns Shotgun, and we've seen Shotgun run big time against the best of the best here at Los Al. One Sweet Boss. Trainer Heath Taylor said that he's just getting better and better. He's been training him up for this race. Let's see how he does. Flashback, coming off of a huge victory in the Albuquerque Championship, a $300,000 race, and he beat a really big horse out there in that one in the skate. Do you remember the name of that horse?
KJ Desperado.
There you go. I could see him. He's the all-time leading earner in quarter horse racing, and he's getting close to a $3 million in earnings. Flashback beat him last time they faced each other, and if you recall, Jose, Flashback ran second to Apolitical Pence in the Champion of Champions a few years ago. And completing the field, take a swig of this. Winner of the Los Alamitos Winter Derby, went to Remington Park and won a big race out there as well. And now returns here looking for a spot in the Champion of Champions.
There it is, Scoops Dynasty, who got his berth in the championship, right? Scoops Dynasty did.
He does, yep.
He's got a spot into the championship, so he's going to be racing in the spot like Monty has done before. So just to keep him fresh and get him ready to go there for that big Champion of Champions race coming up in December.
Well, we'll see, right? 3 berths in here. So there's actually 6 horses vying for 3 berths. So if you finish in the top 4, there's a possibility that you could be going into the Champion of Champions. It all depends if Scoops Dynasty is in the top 3. If you finish in the top 3, you're pretty much guarantee your ticket to the Champion of Champions.
Now, Professor, is this the post position order or no?
No, they're not. They haven't drawn yet, or I have not seen the draw yet.
Okay, so this is just the names that we expected. This is not the official post position order that we could expect to see Sunday night. So that's a look at what's coming up this weekend at Los Alamitos. Should be a good weekend. And like we said before, Professor, once we hit that PC QHRA Breeders and Sell weekend here at Los Al, every week it's like nonstop, big race, big trials, big final. And we're approaching already midway through November. So we're going to be talking Champion of Champions in just a few short weeks.
See Wayne Griffin on Sunday, trials to the Champion of Champions. Next Sunday, Jose, trials to the 2 million.
Yes. I'm not ready because those are the nights I don't sleep, Professor, because doing all the comments for the Nightlines keep me up. But it's going to be a tremendous. I feel like these These year's trials are going to be absolutely loaded with talent, Professor, left and right. It's going to be an exciting trials for the 2 million coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we saw a lot of those horses that were making maybe their first or second start on Los Alamitos trials to the Golden State Million Futurity. A lot of those are going to come back in the 2 million trials now with some experience under the lights here at Los Alamitos. They've been around this facility for a while now. They've been training here for a while now. You're right. It's going to be a heck of a racing program. Next Sunday, trials to the 2 million.
All eyes will be on Trey St. Genevieve, the winner of the Golden State Million Futurity. He stamped himself as a potential favorite for the 2 million, regardless of what happens. You know, he's still got to get into the final. We'll see how he returns in those trials come in next week here at Los Alamitos. All right, Professor, anything else for the viewing public?
No, just remember that, our pick six, just wanted to just highlight that from last week. I know you hit it. That was awesome. I know FanDuel, TVG, made sure that everybody knew that you had hit it. Congratulations on that. I saw a nice tweet about that. And just to mention on the pools, we had a $13,000 carryover going into Sunday night. Yeah. How about $133,000 of new money? So thanks to the horse players out there that continue to support the racing program here at Los Alamitos.
Yeah, big tip of the cap to the horse players, because usually those carryovers have produced, throughout this year, maybe around total money or in the 80 to 70, maybe $90,000 range. It eclipsed that. It went all the way to 130 and change, right, Professor? So that was a tremendous support for that pick six.
Absolutely. So we're looking forward to a great weekend. It should be an exciting Saturday night of action. We got that $50,000 race to kick off the program, and I can't wait to see the Field to the Champion of Champions completed.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for that update, Professor G. We'll talk to you this weekend. I'll see you at the races coming up this Saturday night with that great allowance event sponsored by the National Thoroughbred League.
Thanks so much, Jose. I'll see you around at the racetrack. Keep hitting those pick sixes, huh?
We'll try. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Team Horse Racing. Live performances. Culinary masterpieces. Join the National Thoroughbred League for its inaugural season. Experience horse racing like never before. With music, food, and fashion. This is one event you don't want to miss. Come experience the NTL. November 11th at Los Alamitos Racetrack.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.